So yeah,
Uh,
Luke. So let us know about the sort of team you guys went to. How was training? Do you feel like that was at least beneficial?
yeah. So I was going to say, like, my experience on the field was obviously what I paid for, and I was happy with that. And then off it, obviously the money was really, like, obviously the downfall. So
Yeah.
I started off. We both trialed for Las Rosas first team, so they're third division in Spain, and
Yeah.
that was a really, really good standard, because, like, quite a lot of there's a few, like, lone boys from Real Madrid, and they have like a like partnership with them.
Yeah.
So that was quality, and obviously I was seeing the benefits from obviously all that money. It was definitely obviously very good. So I tried with them for like the first week, and then because, like, obviously I was 18, and most of them are like experienced, like 28-year-olds, that didn't work out. Although I got like decent, like, feedback and stuff, obviously they were more looking for experienced players, they said.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
obviously understandable. And it didn't help with, like, the language barrier, because no one spoke English there. So, and I don't speak a word of Spanish, so that was not.
Yeah, kind of screwed us over.
Yeah, and then we went to Leganes for the week after that, and then
another week, because so we trialed there for 2 weeks, because I don't know, apparently a week wouldn't be enough, which again is probably, I don't know, maybe half true, maybe half just another reason to sort of stay and pay accommodation. But yeah, it wasn't that much, as much as before for the next week. I think it was only like £70 or £60 per day, but obviously still quite expensive. But
so did you say 3 weeks in total then?
Yeah.
Well, just under 3 weeks, just like 5 days after, I think.
5 days off. So that's another about €300 associated, and
yeah, and that's the problem. Like, obviously, again, like obviously we said to you personally, but obviously we, like, my mum and dad can't obviously afford it, so obviously we've been saving up, getting a job for like 3 months before that, like paying half, like £1,000 towards it. So obviously training, like, obviously so hard for it. So just obviously him saying another week, which obviously I'd have to do. So obviously I'm not going to turn around after like, in some ways what would be a waste of 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So obviously,
he sort of imposed the extra week on you guys.
Which again I wasn't happy about. Like, obviously my mum and dad were like really nice about it, and saying obviously you've worked hard both financially and on the pitch for this opportunity, and obviously you're not coming back just to obviously for that. So obviously I stayed the extra week, but again, obviously that's more money, which none of us really.
The summer money for the last week, who did you pay that to? Was that the club directly or the person?
Honestly, can't remember. So, who was it, Luke? To?
I'm not sure. I think it was him.
Because of the tax, we could have paid to the club. In all fairness, like they did, like, obviously contact us saying obviously we can, but if you do like bank transfer, you have to pay the tax, which is extra 20%, which obviously we wouldn't want to do. So that was another thing which sort of in some ways was a perfect excuse why they're not paying the club.
But did the club ever show you any prices for their accommodation, or did they give you any advice? Or
it was like a brochure when we came and stuff, but again, like, that's a bit like, again, there's obviously a few things, like, obviously that's like, I had each like price and why obviously it was that amount. So like, obviously it said we'd get like training kit, which obviously like 2 shorts, 2 tops, blah blah, is like €200 and stuff like that, and like obviously added stuff like that, which like, oh okay, yeah, that's why we're paying obviously that much. But like stuff like that we never got, and again, obviously we couldn't really make a deal with it, because obviously we want to focus on our football, and we were already getting like quite frustrated off the pitch, obviously with all the scenarios. and we knew if we like made any more like issues, it would just affect us on the pitch. And,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what, did that brochure come from the person who took you there, or did the club directly when you guys came over there?
I'm not sure. We got one from each. I think there was 2. So, but like obviously my mum got contacted it, so I'm not like entirely sure which one came from which.
Yeah, that sounds a bit funny, to be honest with you. It shouldn't be that much, but you know. So what did you get any advice or guidance while you was out there from anyone? Obviously, I know you said that no one spoke English and you guys obviously don't speak Spanish. So
Yeah, in Leganes, to be fair, the Spanish coach spoke English, like quite good English, so that wasn't a problem there, in all fairness. And one of the other coaches was like American, so he spoke English. So the language side for Leganes was perfectly fine. It was just women or Las Rosas.
Did you impose any questions on him, like in regards to your experience with this fella? Did you bring up any concerns you had with him?
The club?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
To the club, do you mean?
Yeah, to the fella that spoke like American, and you guys obviously the language barrier.
It said a few things that obviously as normal people would think was fishy, and we were thinking the same. And he was just like, well, obviously he's a coach, and it's what I found over there. It's a lot of politics, who knows who, and obviously he was new as well, so he was only there for the first season. Well, since the beginning of the season, and he's
not got much for us.
Not going to get him.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, people talk bad about agents and the industry, but I'll be honest with you, there are clubs who are involved with some of these people.
Yeah,
money from players. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that I'm not saying the club hierarchy knew this was happening, but I'm certain someone connected to the club was at some point benefiting from you two going over there.
Yeah, that's what.
If they're part of the team, it doesn't take them long to allow you guys to come in for a 2-week trial. Do you know what I mean? He can just turn around and be like, oh yeah, these guys have been released from a pro team in England, big you guys up a little bit. Because someone already works for the club, that's not going to be checked. They bring you lot in, make some money, send you lot back home. So, I think people need to start obviously realizing that, there's a bigger picture to this. It isn't just, agents. There are other people in clubs who are also involved in these things and also, are involved in taking money from players. So, just to sort of end it a little bit. And what advice would you give to someone that's going to be in your position and is thinking about maybe going abroad or maybe soliciting that sort of opportunity from someone who they've never met before, spoken to, or what would you say?
I'd say just if it sounds too good, then it is too good almost. And
that's a cliche, isn't it?
Everyone says it, and obviously, to be fair, I watch quite a lot of stuff which obviously says that, and I'm not sort of that dumb guy. Oh yeah, if some guy offers me a Real Madrid trial, I'm gonna believe it. But I don't know, obviously just ask a few questions why. And in all fairness, obviously I asked people out there. And if there wasn't people that I could ask you, I probably wouldn't have gone. But I was just almost so excited about the possibility of obviously the opportunity and just looking just being almost too hopeful. And then just thinking, oh yeah, it's all positive, and then because I was
gonna say, did you guys ever check if he was a registered agent in the country in Spain? Registered intermediary, or
I've got a family friend who's who did that for me. He's a football coach, so he was able to make some checks, and apparently it was all fine. But so.
Okay, but did you ever check that information yourself? Did you ask him to send you the link for you to have a look at yourself?
No, he's FIFA approved or something, whatever.
Yeah, most of them are in Spain. Yeah, most of them are in Spain for registered agents. But I was talking to you earlier about the different playing styles. Now, a lot of players in your position in England believe that because they're playing at a level over here, they can go overseas and play. Tell everybody about your experience and the difference between English style football and Spanish style football. Because I played over there, and a lot of people think because they look weak that they go over there and put it their way.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us about that experience.
Like obviously going to like Las Rosas, like I'm myself not even like that big. Well, yeah, not big at all for my age. Never mind like first team. And then when I come into like sort of Las Rosas, I'm probably a medium sort of build. You're almost like quite bulky compared to most of these guys, and you're thinking like they just look some skinny guys which don't look too great. Like it's just almost like a Sunday league team in England. But like when you get playing with them, like I've there's a few times like obviously you want to sort of like not even like rough them up, but just obviously get on their touch and stuff. But you try that and then you'll just get popped around. Like especially in like Las Rosas, like we're just doing possession games 2-touch, so you don't even have a chance to use your like physicality because they just pass it around you. So like yeah, none of them are particularly like, again, like obviously they're not strong and none of them are particularly that sort of quick, but they're just quick with their brain. So like even like just like so good on the ball and stuff. Yeah.
And then what was the experience like at Leganes?
Yeah, very like good. I was quite shocked about like how much like tactical work they actually do. So like, I would spend almost like each session would be based on like a certain thing, like whether it's like pressing, like pressing wide areas, central areas, or like something particular. Because obviously in England, like the structure is very different. It's more like obviously warm up, passing drill, possession, going into some sort of game. But with like Spain, it was more learn the tactical side, learn the drills of that, and then like maybe at the end of the week or the end of the thing, play a full match, like a full 11v11, which was quite strange. But
yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. That's basically it, and that's why I told players if you can't in Spain, I'll say they compared to most English players, even if they're at a good academy, is they understand the game. But there's a difference between understanding and playing. Because you can play, it's like playing dominoes. When I was younger, I played dominoes with my uncles, and they look at me and say, "You're just playing. You don't understand what you're doing." You know what I mean? You're just putting the numbers down because 3 and 3, but you're not thinking ahead. So in Spain, as I went over there, same thing. Everything was tactical, and it's making you think why, as opposed to how. You know, we learn how over here, and over there they learn why and when, which is why they are so ahead. And as I said before, it's reality check, because a lot of boys do say, "Oh, I want to go over there to Spain. I can play over there." And I'm said, "No, you cannot." I said, "My friend, it's a different world. You're gonna go over there and just end up coming back and playing golf, literally."
Which goes to show, anyway, the best academies in the world are all abroad. You know, from Benfica to Sporting to Barcelona. I mean, the list, Ajax, the list goes on. There are some good academies over here, but let's be honest, the conversion rate of youth into first team is not very high compared to other countries. And, you know, most good players in this country that are academy level, they've been brought in. Yeah. Literally, like Chelsea doesn't have any player who's not an international.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So most players are being brought in. Only very few which are standing are sort of like from this country or in the academy system that are going to make it in England. So, you know, that speaks for itself. Abroad, you do get a better understanding of, you know, the game, what you need to do, position, etc. So, yeah, man, thanks for your time, you guys. That was very insightful. You know, myself and Keisha would say that you have to do your due diligence before you make a decision. You need to check everything. You need to have a conversation with the person on the phone. You need to see them face to face. You need to be able to look them in the eye and see what your gut is telling you, whether this person's being honest or not. You know, one thing about me and Keisha is we always like to speak to parents. We like to keep them in the loop of everything. We're very transparent. We show everything. If there's a cost, we tell you why. We show you why. And, you know, the good agents are out there. People just need to obviously start opening their eyes a little bit more and not let the bad ones give a bad name to the industry. Because, you know, me and Keishan have also paid for people to go on trial out of our own pockets. We're not getting anything from it. So, you know, it's always good to have experiences from both sides. So thank you for your experience, even though it obviously wasn't the best. I'm sure you still learned a lot from it, got a lot from it. Going forward, you're probably better positioned now to deal with a situation like that if it ever comes again. And now, you know, you obviously got myself and Keishan on your side. So if you ever need any advice, guidance, if anyone's ever coming with another opportunity, we're more than happy to jump on the phone and deal with anything. So
Yeah, thank you.
thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
No
Yes,
worries.
all right then.
Thank you,
guys.
guys. Take care.
All right then. Take care, guys. All right.
Yes,
Bye.
bye.
See you later. So yeah, Keish, not a bad first episode. Very insightful. I mean, I did the calculations, yeah. They paid over £3,700 to go on trial for 2.5 weeks. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, barring the first experience at Las Rosas, which was the first team in a third division league, they then spent 2 weeks at Leganes playing with the age group, which, I mean, they could have done, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You just
like
said, I know this team, go and train with them. You know what I mean? That's rubbish.
And this is why a lot of the time there are people in the clubs involved as well in these transactions where they're benefiting from. So, you know.
Well, especially in those sort of clubs, if I'm honest, like, I'll be real, and they may say, no, it's not true. It is, because money over there is not as fluent as it is. Obviously, it still happens in England, all over the world, but you're not going to get at the highest level. Where
I mean, we've had it as well. We've had it. How many agents have we spoken to from Spain and they're asking us, yeah, you can send a player, but you have to pay X amount of money. We're not doing that. We don't want to work like that. You like the player, you think you can play, you don't.
That's it. Simple. Money will come when it comes. No, it's true.
But obviously, the industry is turning to this, isn't it? Because people are hungry and there's so many people trying to make it that they're going to do anything to have that sort of opportunity. And this is where some people are taking, obviously, the mickey and odds and doing whatever they want to obviously try and give those people an opportunity, which is not, you know, nothing is ever going to benefit from it. So,
yeah. No, it's crazy, man. Well,
looking
guys,
forward to next week's one.
thank you for tuning in. Let's talk more noise next week. We go again with another special guest. Thank you for tuning in.
See you lot later.